Hey everybody, it's Sarah the Fox here. Making a quick video because I've realized I really haven't made a video explaining anything about the LPs on this channel. And I thought it would be nice to make a quick video explaining what the hell's going on, when are those going to come back up, if ever at all. So this is what this is going to be about. So for those of you who just want a quick short answer and straight to the point, TDLR, TLDR, that's what it is. Too long, don't read, don't care. I simply just do not want to make any more LPs. Simple as that. Now, for those of you who kind of want a more in-depth explanation, here's kind of what's been going on. For the past, let's see, when I started Pornhub, I had a lot of time, a lot of free time on my hands to where I could easily handle Pornhub stuff, I could handle the YouTube stuff, as well as a lot of my art stuff. And I also could handle a lot of my own free time stuff, like doing errands and chores, as well as sitting down and playing video games for myself. So at the time, I had a lot of I could do a lot of things, but eventually it came to the point where my job, a lot of things stem from my job, quickly took over a portion of my time, unfortunately, because we were so badly understaffed, and you know, at the time I needed extra money, so I'm like, okay, you know what, I can make this work. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. So at first it wasn't that bad because I thought it was a temporary thing, but eventually it didn't turn into a temporary thing. It turned into a very long-term thing, and I ended up working overtime for years and years. There was a time I did get a small break from overtime, but then immediately got back up once a few other coworkers ended up quitting and making us shorthand. So overtime has been a huge issue. My work has also consumed a huge portion of my life, and that at the time I didn't realize this, but it has actually been causing a lot of stress in my life. Unfortunately, it has actually been causing a lot of issues such as burnout, severe case of burnout apparently, and a lot of other mental health issues that I've been struggling for a while. And last year made me realize like how bad my mental health was. It was absolutely horrible. Like 2021 was an absolute shit show for me. It was awful, absolutely awful. And it kind of made me realize, even though I enjoy making videos for the internet, I was so busy doing so much work, it came to the point where I kind of realized that even though I enjoy all this stuff, I'm still doing quote-unquote work. And it's getting to the point where I feel like I'm doing too much of it, even on my days off, to the point where it doesn't feel like I'm having a day off. Even though I'm doing something I enjoy, it still feels like I'm doing a lot of work, so to speak. Because at the time I did, like, how many videos was I doing? Gosh, I think I was doing like 3 videos for Pornhub per week, and then for my YouTube I was trying to do 3 videos per week, but then I dropped it down to 2, then eventually I dropped it down to 1, but then that still felt too much. It was just too much stuff going on. And then I had completely abandoned doing anything art related or anything in that category because I had lost the passion to do art for a long time. So that was a nice little episode right there. So it's kind of gotten to the point where I feel like all I ever do is just make videos and gaming videos, so to speak, which I have actually eventually realized was actually affecting all the times when I would play video games for myself and kind of like, you know, potentially play games for maybe future LPs or just want to dick around. But I'd always kind of guilt trip myself in that category because I would sit there playing a game for myself, but then I would think, why are you playing a game for yourself? You should be recording. Why aren't you recording? Is this a potential LP maybe? And if so, how are you going to do it? And no. It was like this really, really bad cycle that even playing video games casually for myself was just a nightmare to do, to the point where I wouldn't even do that anymore. Or it just came to the point where it just stressed me out too much that I just kind of had to stop. So when I eventually realized that's what's happening, I realized something has to kind of give when it came to making videos. So eventually I kind of just sat down and looked at the pros and the cons. Should I continue both YouTube and Pornhub? Should I just discontinue both of them? Should I just do one or the other? And for those of you who might have noticed, or who are in the Pornhub's content wide, you probably have noticed that I have been pretty active on Pornhub. I've been doing a lot of content for that website, whereas on YouTube, not so much. So that should be a subtle indicator that I have chosen to continue on with Pornhub, because that's where my main audience is. That's where a lot of people come from before they start branching out into my other stuff. And it also helps that I do get paid, you know. I know I'm being a greedy little asshole. I know, God forbid I'm a greedy asshole. But it does help pay for the video games that I play for Pornhub. So there is that. And it just seemed like there was a lot more pros to be on Pornhub than there were cons. Whereas on YouTube, I didn't really see that many pros. I saw more cons. So I decided to discontinue LPing on YouTube. Now, is YouTube entirely going to stop? No, there's still some stuff I want to do, but I'm going to do those whenever I feel like it. Like, there's a new 7 Days to Die challenge series I kind of want to do. It's going to be a lot more relaxed, though, than the previous challenge I did, but yeah, there's that in the future that I might do. Again, not too sure when. There's also a couple of dumb videos I might make along with my sister. We are still planning on doing a couple of videos like the sequels to We Were There 2 or We Were Here Forever or something like that, whatever those games are called. But, you know, more collab games. I think those are going to come out eventually. Sorry about those. Those take forever for me to sit down and edit, and they're very time consuming. I think that's the problem with a lot of the collabs that I do with my sister, is that people don't realize that I have at least like 4 to 5 hours of footage I have to go through, find out which ones are funny, and then edit it down to where it's funny with sound effects, and it's like a 20-minute video or less. So it's a lot of content to go through, so those will of course take time, but we are planning on doing more eventually. I'm also planning on doing more challenge videos, not with just 7 Days to Die, but for also others, as well as Let's Have Some Fun series. Those are probably going to come in here and there, because again, those are just one-off episodes, and I do enjoy making those for the most part. So yeah, those are still going to come. It's just the LP aspect that's going to be discontinued for now, which is a real shame. I still really like making LPs, but I just don't think it's in the cards right now for me to continue that with how badly my mental health is, or with all the stuff that I'm trying to do. And so far, it's actually been pretty beneficial to kind of take a break or just stop entirely with the YouTube stuff. I've slowly gotten better at, you know, doing Pornhub stuff. I have actually gotten back into doing art, and I'm pretty excited about that because I've dearly have missed it a lot, and I didn't realize how badly I really need art in my life until now. So that's going to be pretty fun to kind of show that off to you guys again. Which, by the way, for those of you who, you know, asked during my streams, I apologize for kind of being vague about my art stuff, just because it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going back to art, it's going to be a weird thing. But yeah, I am planning on a comeback. Not a big one, just a very small, subtle one. That's hopefully slowly grows bigger and bigger as we go along. Because again, I've kind of want to go back to my original plans before life got crazy for me, where I wanted to make comics and make more art, maybe like a little art book or something like that. You know, little ideas I had in the past, but I have literally put on the shelf. So yeah, there's just, this year kind of had a revolution, or epiphany, there we go, how about that? I had an epiphany, and it made me realize that I'm not heading in a direction I really, really want to go in, because I can see myself doing nothing but Pornhub videos. I can see myself doing nothing but YouTube videos, and I know where that's gonna go. But honestly, it's kind of tiring more than enjoyable, and it's not exactly I want to keep kind of pursuing, so to speak. I mean, sure, Pornhub has helped pay for certain stuff, but it's not something I want to do for a full-time job, so to speak. Same thing with YouTube, especially with YouTube's bullshit. I definitely don't want to make a living off of YouTube, honestly, just because of how much ass it is and how much people really you can tell people really rely on the ad revenue, because one video could literally fuck them over. And I kind of just don't want to live like that. That kind of sounds like shit. So I kind of want to like start doing other things. Like I've actually wanted to start writing again, which is kind of weird. I haven't really had the urge to write ever since high school, back when I wanted to be a writer. But now that I'm older, I kind of like, yeah, let's do writing again. I haven't done that in forever and a fucking day. That sounds fun. That sounds great. I've also wanted to start making video games, as well as like making comics, as I said before. I think that'd be kind of cool, because I spend all day making video games, and I eventually start learning about shit. At first you may not know, but eventually start learning about how video game makers work and how that stuff goes. And eventually I am kind of curious in how to make video games, and maybe we can make something out of it. And I want to make like regular games as well as hentai games, so that should be kind of interesting and fun. But yeah, I want to start like working on stuff like that. I don't know when I'll be working on that stuff, but hopefully sometime in the future I would like to at least give it a try and just see how it goes. Especially since it could be considered passive income of some sorts, So yeah, I have a lot of ideas and ambition I kind of want to do, but I just feel like just focusing on both Pornhub and both YouTube stuff is kind of taking away from that a little bit. And it just it's been causing a lot of issues, I feel like. So I think it's probably best if I discontinued LPing on YouTube. Now, for some of you who probably have noticed and are on the Pornhub things, and you're probably already asking this question,
but Tara, I see you've been uploading daily on Pornhub. What's up with that?
I can quickly explain that.
I love how they're
I
accusing
am
each
currently
other.
doing a challenge, and this challenge there's also experiments behind this challenge as well, which I feel like I can get away with Pornhub than I can on YouTube, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm doing a lot of experiments. I'm trying to see how long, like, what's a good length for videos. Like, some people prefer the long ones, but those long ones take forever to get done and processed, especially since YouTube or Pornhub can easily get upset with one little excuse me. They can get upset with one little scene, and all of a sudden that whole video gets taken down. It's really fucking stupid on Pornhub. But again, that's neither here nor there. And it's kind of, I find it's easier to kind of make shorter videos as long as there's like a quick sex scene. But again, I guess it also depends of what kind of game it is and how quickly we can reach that sex scene. Again, it's all very experimental. I'm trying to find that sweet spot that people tend to like, as well as what type of games people tend to like over one another. So I'm also just heavily experimenting while also doing this challenge. So once the challenge is done, though, I'm not going to be uploading every single day anymore. It's going to go back to 3 videos per week. Uploading daily is just not worth it. Both my time-wise as well as income-wise is barely made a fucking difference. So, yeah. That's why I'm uploading daily. It's just, but don't worry, it's temporary. I'm not going to do it forever. Fuck that. But, yeah. Sorry, this kind of rambly format. I didn't really think that much through or write down exactly what I should be talking about, but for the most part, Pornhub stuff is going to be continuing on. Stream is still going to be continuing on, which I'm really happy with myself, because last year streams were just ass, which I felt really disappointed in myself in. But this year, besides my health issues, I feel like I've been doing a lot better, though. At least in the past couple of months, like past 6 months or so, I've been doing a lot better with streams, which makes me a happy camper. And I'm sure some of you who like to join me in my streams probably prefer that as well. So yeah, streams are of course still coming. Random video game videos are going to come on YouTube still, so it's going to be somewhat active. It's just you're going to see a random video every once in a while, which I think is kind of better than no video at all. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. That's what's happening. And again, apologies for rambling and moving back and forth and shit, but you know. Anyway, thank you all for joining me in this weird-ass video. I am Tara the Fox, you guys have been the viewer, and of course, I hope to see you all next time. Bye!